Well, we're back up on Manor. First trip of the year up here, 2014. We're beginning of April the 8th, I think it is today. I've had a few carp up to low 20. But I've just had a tench this morning. It's only about 6 o'clock in the morning. I just thought I'd show you this one because it's just under £8 this one. It's quite a nice tench. Quite a nice tench that. Oh yeah. Bloody great tench. This is a big tench. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. Bird. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. I've dropped on Manor for the first time up here this year. Waited till April, been fishing syndicate quite a lot. Bleep on the middle rod there. All 3 on zigs. Been putting out a fair bit of spod. Been having the fish sort of 4:45 in the morning. Pretty much bang on. Get a bit of action for an hour or two. Had a £7.11 tench and dropped another one this morning. Landed 2 carp. Turned up on the Sunday. It's the Tuesday. Going home tomorrow, so another night to go. It's not too busy up here at the moment. There'll be an onslaught over the next couple of weeks with Easter coming up. Yeah, we've had a couple of days of sort of overcast and rain, which it sort of looked like it really was going to fish well, but it's held back and there's been sporadic feeding times. Let's say, you know, an hour just before light seems to be when they're getting their heads down on in front of me. I'm in peg 4. Showing themselves quite frequently over the last few days. Fish smash out somewhere. Not sure where. I've been sat watching the water for a long time waiting for one to smash out, and I missed it. Fantastic. Sounded like it was at the back there somewhere. Around there somewhere. play a different type of football here. Well, I'm just coming into the first night of a 3-night session up on Linear again. Second session up here of the year. Obviously I've done 3 days on Manor a few weeks back now. Had a few, dropped a couple. Well, this time I've dropped on Manor again. It's the lake I'm trying to concentrate on this year, as well as the little syndicate I'm fishing. I've just had a tench of about £6–7 on the right hand rod, which I've just put back out there. I'm fishing at about 105 to 110 yards, all on solid bags. I've put about 40 spoms over it so far. Just a minute ago I was spomming and I could actually see fish surfacing over the top, so with any luck, you know, might have 1 or 2. Don't think the lake's been fishing that well, but some lady that I was speaking to was packing up in the right hand corner there in the little bay. Had I think it was spike at 43.6 or something, which is a nice one. So let's hope I can get 1 or 2 decent ones, and if I do, I'll try and get them on camera. It looks good, it feels good. Put a little bit more bait out. There's a little red tree in there, which is sort of my marker. Not the best marker for at night, to be honest. But where you got the 3 peaks, it's the right hand peak. Fishing to the right of it. I think there's still fish out there. Right, it is the morning after. 5 o'clock, pretty much bang on. It's ripped off. Quite nice common here, 26.14. Right, probably going to have the normal palaver, I'll try and photo it. Camera 26.14. What a cracking comment. What a cracker. Long fish. And a great scrap. Nice start. Just have a look at the other side here, you beauty. Side of that. Being awfully well behaved, this fish. one or two more on the other side. And we're done. Almost done from it. I'll just spin it around and put it up for you. Do a little bit of water. Just a dip. We have it. Yeah. Lovely fish. It's a leany time. Oh, thank you. What difference 5 minutes makes. 1 minute you're roasting, sat here sweating. Next minute, biggest hailstorm you've ever seen. Chunks of ice. The good old English weather. Oh well. Cool the water down a bit. Stop them spawning if they were thinking about it. That can only be a good thing. And here's the latest hailstorm. Well, I'll take it even out. Just about to take a toilet break. Thought, oh, I'll just shelter out of the shower, and it's turned into a thunderstorm. Hail, rain. Unreal. So 1 minute you're in your t-shirt, it's baking. Next minute, whoa. Mental. Absolutely mental. This is what you call proper rain. Look at that. Right, second morning of the 3-day trip. A little bit later this morning, 10 to 8. I had a few bleeps. I got out and I thought, is that a fish? Nothing else happened. I stood there for a while, went back. As soon as I sat down back in the pivot, it ripped right off. Show it to the camera, you know. 2410 this one. Just flick the camera on because quite a few fish topping all up this end. I don't know if you saw that. Right at the back, suspicious. I'm sure that could be spawning. Very suspicious. Quite a few topping out. Around this area. cool, you get the camera on, try and catch a few fish topping, and they stop topping. Not playing anymore, are they? Definitely have a bait in there. I'm going to go and check it out in a bit. There is somebody fishing in there, but I'll just stick my head through and see what's going on in there. Just check whether they're spawning or not. It's suspicious the way they're topping. Yeah, rain stopped again, fish have stopped topping. Now this is what carp fishing's all about. Is she gonna go? So basically I finished on Manor. I didn't have any more carp. I had another tench this morning at gone 8, and I thought I'll just have a little look in the bay in Hardwick. Well, it's actually Smith's Pool, and see if I can see any fish. And lo and behold, as soon as I stuck my head through the hedge, I see a carp or two in there. So I decided I'll give it a couple of hours in here. I baited a couple of areas with pellet. The carp moved in straight away. Then I spooked them when I got my rigs out. I have had a tench. I've got lots of tench out there over me. I've had a tench already. The carp seem to have disappeared for a second, but like I say, I have got a lot of tench. And this is just nice fishing. This is just dropping in a hole, just using 2 rods, casting to the far bank and the trees, walking around, hooking a rig on, and dropping it right in on top of them. Still spook them doing that. Yeah, I got one in. It's about there. That's a choddy. That's not done anything. Lots of liners. I'm still getting liners. And the other one, like I say, I'm casting across there. Just dropping it in underneath that bush there, just around there. Yeah. Proper carping. I don't think I'll be able to, but I'll just go around and see if I can see any fish with a camera over where where my bait is. Well, the area is totally choked up. It's complete chocolate down there. I can't even see me rig now. I can't see anything down there at the moment. Oh, there's one just over there. Can't really see anything, it's too chocolate now. Right, it's the 1st of June. We're back on Manor. I've just dropped on them what I call the mound swim. Obviously where that bird has just gone down to the mounds. You remember I had a session last year on here in October where I had 7 fish and lost a couple. And a lot of fish showing out there on the surface, as you can imagine, because it's baking. It's about, I'd imagine, I don't know, 5:15 now. I ain't got my rods out yet, I'm just getting them sorted. I've marked up to the spot that I want to fish. If I fish over the back of those mounds, in between them, I'm on about 7-8 foot. Obviously the further back I come towards me, the shallower it gets, up to about 3 foot I would say. So every chance of a bite, you know, during the day on the shallower patch, and at night I'll drop them on the back. I've set up to drop them on the back to start with, but there's a fish you just see breaking the water. Where's he gone? Missed that one. But there's another one that just cruising around, which is perfect really, because they can sit here during the day. I might nick one, you never know, fairly early on when I put the rods out, but we'll see. Right, enough of that. Let's get sorted. Let's get some rods out. Let's get. Fish just smashing out. My rods all sort of dink. Well, if you said there was one in front of that tree, the one in front of that tree, and then one sort of on the front of the mound. It's out there. A lot of fish that I'm seeing, like, just breaking the surface close in. I think it could be tench. A lot of fish up in this area. So hopefully when they decide to have a feed, they'll seek out a bit of my bait that I've put out there. Now I've put out 30 spawns. A bit of a mixture really. Well, you can see that. This is generally what I fish with. It's a good mix of mainly hemp, sort of 3 parts hemp, 1 part pigeon conditioner. There's a mixture of 2 boilies in there, obviously. You can see there, that's a fish meal. It's more of a seed mix. It's a seed mix that I've been fishing with so far all year. But at some point I'm sure the fish meal will start outdoing it. Hasn't been so far. Put about 30 of them out on the spot. Fishing about 7 foot deep, roughly. 7-8 foot ranging. All 3 rods really fairly close, within sort of 15 yards. And I've just put bait out all along the bar that I'm fishing to, or the back of the bar which I'm fishing on. Fishing 3 bags on top of it. Very short hook links with little pinkies. Just there. It's on top then. I think it's tench. They do show a lot in the evening. Tench. It's really warm, it's about 8:30 at night. Been quite a lot of fish showing, so I thought I'd get the camera up. See if I can get one on camera. All that sort of stuff that's just resting on top of the water. It's proved a little bit tricky to get your line through. Gets there in the end, but it's not easy. Manor Farm. Not a breath of wind. I haven't been since I got here, but it does give it weather breaking up tomorrow. Thunderstorms. It has been very humid, so another half hour or so and it'll be dark. Come on, fishies. See if I can get one or two on camera for you this session, it'd be nice. Maybe on my own, so it's always a bit more tricky. Or the so-called team that I fish with are been fishing here, there and everywhere at the moment. But this is where I want to fish this year. There's a few fish in here I really want to catch. If I catch one of them, I'll be more than happy. Right. Hopefully I'll see you again in the morning and I'll have a fish in my hand. Wow, it's the morning after, 4:15. Right-hander's gone ripping off, and we've got a nice upper 20, 28.5. Not the nicest looking fish, but it's a half decent one. I've left him in the sack for 15 minutes, so I've got my rod out in that. And the sun's come up, obviously. Well, the sun's not come up, but there you have it. 28.5. Caught on the tactics that I was telling you about last night. Still fish smashing out there. Those on the spot. Yeah. A few more of these. A little bit bigger would be nicer. A couple of pound bigger. Happy days. Let's just show you the other side. The other side's a little bit better. That one's got a bit of a bump on it. 28.5, pure single muscle. Well, suppose we better get him back. Try and catch us another one, a little bit bigger. Ha. There we are. Beauty. Okay. About 10 in the morning now. Just had another one. Not a biggie. Just a mid-double common. Lovely little fish that. Look at that one. Colours on these commons, some of these commons are awesome. Give me a hell of a fight, that dude. Funny how the small ones sometimes do give you a bit of a run around than the big ones. Look at the other side, but pretty much. There we have it. See if we can get ourselves some more. Well, I've moved lakes. I've come off a Manor. Not a lot doing on there. It's gone very quiet. I've done 2 nights. Obviously, first night, second morning produced a couple fish. It's gone very quiet since then. I've dropped on peg 4 on Oxies. There's loads of fish out in front of me. Just all cruising around. They're not too far out. I've dropped a couple of zigs out there and a choddy in fairly close. It's a bit weedy just in close, and then after that it's pretty clear. Yeah, there's loads of fish moving around out there. There's another one. Backs out the water. It's a warm day today, humid. 1 night ago I thought change of scenery. You know, I would have quite happily moved on to a different peg on Manor, but it just didn't. You know, the fish weren't moving around. I didn't see anything. It just died. So I packed up, jumped in the van. Instead of going to Hardwick, I thought I'll have a look at Oxies. And literally, this is right next to the car park. As you will see, the van is the other side of that bush. Oh, really nice and easy. They're even in real close. And no understatement, that is 20 yards from the bank, that fish there. It's wallowing on through. Yeah, so hopefully we'll snare one out of here. Like I say, I've chucked the rods out here, there and everywhere, to be honest, to start with. Just see what happens. And then I'll put a shelter up in a minute. I'm going to cast out to a spot which feels like it's been fed on, because I found a couple just scatting the marker out when I got in the swim that have really been fed on hard. It's just end of the rod tips just really tattering along. So I'll find a little spot like that I think's been fed on, and I'm going to heave a load of bait on it, and this evening I'll drop all 3 rods on it. But today, because the fish are moving around everywhere, I'm just going to roam the rods around, and might even chuck a bit of spot over one of them, see if I can get them going on the zigs. Anyway, hundreds of them out there. Right, let's get the shelter up. Let's see if we can bag ourselves a chunk out of Oxies. I haven't fished it for a while now. Do prefer this bank. Right, no more. Shelter. Another 4 swans to contend with. Happy days. Probably little baby ones. Right. It's now sort of just gone 6 o'clock. I baited up about an hour ago, put 40 spawns out there, 83 yards. Aiming towards, well, pretty much where those birds are, all around that area. I'm going to fish 3 different tactics on it. I'm going to fish from the same tactic I use in Manor on one rod, just a bag, very short uplink drop off lead, little 10mm pink wafter. I'm going to fish a stiff-hinged pop-up on one rod. And on the other rod I'm going to fish a bottom bait tipped with a piece of pink plastic corn, and I've made up a stick mix, nice oily stick mix, some of the dip for the bottom baits I'm using. So I'll give that a go tonight. Hopefully one of them will pull us a fish. Well, after the last session and me dropping back onto Oxies, I had no joy. I didn't actually catch anything, and that was a few weeks ago now. I haven't been able to get back up. What's the date today? Is it the 7th or the 8th of July? I've come up, it's been baking, and if by magic, it's the 6th of July, Sunday the 6th, got 3 nights up here. If by magic the fish haven't been feeding, it's been very slow according to the bailiffs. They've all been on the top and everything. I've just got my rods out, and if by magic The heavens have opened, it's gone dark, it's cooled, the wind has started rushing right into my swim. Happy days really. I'm in a swim I've never fished before. I'm actually right in front of one of the car parks, the end car park. I'm up the top end of the lake. I'm in the swim to the right of the disabled swim. Obviously I've got the island out there. I'm not fishing to it. I'm fishing about 70 yards out around there. I'm going to put some spot mix out in a minute. Just going to wait for this shower to pass. I'll get a bit of bait out there. I've put 2 bags out there and a stiff hinge pop-up fluoro, and we'll see what that does for tonight. I'm not amazingly confident. The guy around the other side of the island, I'm almost level with him. He's just to the right hand side, he's round the corner, just round there. He's at about 10-12 fish, but I think he's zig fishing and spotting over the top. But if this weather changes, hopefully the fish will just mosey on up and come round there, and literally I'm out past the face of the island, just over the other side of the bar, and my rod's the right hand rod, even though they're sort of 15-20 yards apart. The right rod is in about 8 foot of water, and the left rod is in about 5 foot of water, so it's obviously shallowing up as it comes into this bay. So we'll see what happens. I mean, that's quite shallow, and you know, if there's fish coming over the top, they're certainly gonna see the bait. So I'll introduce a bit in a minute, and we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna get my trousers on. And there it is. 30 spawns. 30 spawns out on the spot. And we'll leave that till tomorrow morning and we'll see what happens. If I don't see anything in front of me and I don't catch anything, I think I'll be moving. But we'll see what happens. 68 yards I was fishing there. And, I've already got the birds all over me. But that won't hurt much. Knock the bottom up a bit. I've put on the tractor in the bait to try and enhance the fish and get them on a feeding frenzy in amongst all the particles, and we'll see whether that works. These strain that they've put in are like a leany cross dink or something, aren't they? Elstow. Yeah. Nice scaly, but they get the frame as well, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Good growers. Let's have a quick look at the other side.
It says record on it, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah. Put some water in.
Yeah, they're absolutely stunning looking fish.
Sorry?
I'm glad they didn't put the simmos in here.
Yeah. Yeah, Manor. Yeah, they're lumps, but don't think they last as long either, do they?
No, some of them are a bit lumpy as well.
Yeah, round footballs.
Nice fish.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, lovely, thanks mate.
What do I press? Record again?
Yeah. What swim number is this one?
I've no idea, mate. They call it the Wooded Point.
Woody Point to the left here. 1810.
Nice.
Second one out of Hardwick. That's a nice fish, that. I wonder whether these fish are a lot of male fish, you know, whether the females are still
There's some carrion spawn.
Have you had one or two of your carrion spawn, have you?
I haven't, but I was speaking to a guy, that young lad who's next to you.
Yeah.
Nice looking fish, that.
Yeah, it's a lovely looking fish. At 25–30 pound, it'd be a quick one. That'll do, mate. Lovely. Wow. Obviously yesterday I didn't really fill you in, but went from Oxies, circus moved in on me to the left and the right. It was just, they were up till about 2 in the morning, up again at 5. Hell of a racket, I didn't sleep. So I had one from Oxies, £15 something, and I left in the morning and I set up on Hardwick, on the road bank, on the left hand side of Woody Point. I've had 4 pickups, I've lost one. I had a 17, 4, an 18, 10, and now this one. Just the one night so far, I've got 1 night to go. 2 of them, the pickups have been over Big Bed of Boilie, 2 of them have been over Park. Now I'm fishing a trolley over the Boilie with a fluoro. That's doing the job, and this one here, biggest so far, £20.6. There we go. Belter. Just trying to get a little bit closer to you. Done the photos. I can say so far the fish are steadily getting bigger. So hopefully the next one will be a bigger one again. Still got a bit of spawn left in it, this one, I think. Let's just quickly show you the other side. Then we'll get up. Full fish so far, first 20 on the bank. Let's see if we can get a few more. It'd be nice to get a few more. The fish have been rolling in here throughout the days. They went out a bit last night. There's a lot of weed in here. I think obviously the weed takes oxygen at night, and obviously that's a little tip for anybody out there. At night, if you're fishing next to weed, the chances are the fish will move away from it into the open water because there's more oxygen there, whereas during the day they'll move into the weedy areas, not only because they're warm, but because they're actually giving off oxygen. So if you're fishing a weedy area, the chances are you're going to have more action during the day. Not to say you can't catch them. Anyway, another one bites the dust. Well, after losing 2 fish in a row, finally landed one. Only 15.10 or 15.11 I think it was. But it's a spanking little common. Young fish probably. Very lively, as you can see. Lively little common. One of the fish I lost could have been a good one, it's hard to say, but it was reading me right up from the start. I left it on the pod for half an hour and everything, but it wanted to be. Let's just have another look at the side. Stunning fish, and this one's bigger. Yeah, absolute cracker. So here we have it. Right, let's put it back. This ain't the biggest, but I thought I'd show you nonetheless. I've had, I don't know now, I'm starting to lose count how many fish I've had. I've only had the 120, which you saw, but I've had a 15, about 10, 11. All linears. This one's a bit of a zip. It's obviously still the same session. It's still got another night to go. But a lot of the males coming out, I think, after spawning. Although this one looks female, but it's very empty. Very long fish, but look at that. It's a cracker. Not the biggest, it's only £12. Yeah. It's an absolute stunning fish. And there's so many of them in here coming on like that. They really have gone for the prettier ones in here, which is nice. What a stunning fish. Yeah. Let's let her go. Right, I don't know what the time is now, but it's coming up 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I've had a half an hour of madness. That's been normal. One rod's gone, just as I've banked this one. The other rod's gone. This one is the first one, and the smaller of the two. Only a Mickey. £14. But the other one, quite a nice one. It's one of the bigger commons out there. Unfortunately, it's fully spawned out, and it's not 30, it's coming at 28.10, but I'm sure the fish is normally a 30. I'll just show you the other side of this one. all pretty little fellas, all the young ones coming on. But yeah, it's nice to actually get a good in amongst them. It's catching quite a few. And, that time I had someone shout about it.
Okay, it's recording.
There we have it.
Yeah, it's a Hardwick's common. How heavy did you say it was?
28.10.
28.10. It's a lovely fish. Big wide head.
So she lays just to quickly sweep around, probably not. Last one. Last one now.
Being a little bit more well behaved. Magic.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Well, this is the scene of Hardwick. I've just done a night. The last session I ended up on 14 fish. I've come up here, it's 3 weeks on now. 3rd of August I got up here Sunday, which was yesterday. I've just done a night. I've done a night actually. Pegged back from that one, that's right on the point there. On the second spit. That was sort of in there, I think. 5 o'clock this morning I got up and moved. Last night there was a lot of fish moving in front of this swim, which is literally I think it's the second swim on the road bank of Hardwick. Not a lot coming out. The guy that was in the end point before he moved in had a few. A couple of runs off the hot spot. It's quite quiet really. Manor's only done 3 fish in the last month since they've got the weed. I think it's seems to have stuffed the fish in a bit, so I've come back on here. Yeah, this is slow. So I got up at 5, had a move. Rods have been out now, it's 20 to 8 now. Rods have been out good, probably out getting on an hour. Aha. There we have Carpino. Now, this rod here is literally not too far from there. Just scat out on a little white stiff hinge, white pop-up stiff hinge, and I just stuck it on a load of feeding bubbles really, just to see, about half an hour ago. So that's what I put out. I clipped it up for the spot that I've put 10 spombs on. I thought, there's a bit of feeding activity going on there. 4 or 5 rod lengths out, so I put the rod right on it, and then it sort of stopped. And then about 10 minutes ago there was another few bubbles come up over it, and fish is just showing. There's 1 or 2 out there just showing, but I think there's a few tench mixed in with them. I haven't seen nothing big yet, but there's definitely a few fish out in front. They seem to be to my right, so hopefully they'll move out onto my bait. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Well, as you can see, well, you probably can't see, but there's been a little bit of a change of scenery. I've come off of Hardwick. I had a move at 5 o'clock this morning. Moved on fish, but they just weren't interested. So I felt, you know, with Oxies closed due to competition, one of the brace nose 1 is closed, which means there's overspill. Coming on to Hardwick, it's quite busy. St John's is busy. The Manor hasn't done a fish for, well, it's done about 3 fish in a month. So I thought I'd come down to Lynch Hill and have a look to see how busy this was. Got up to Christchurch, and well, including me, there's 8 of us on here, which isn't too bad. It's the first time I've fished here. I've had a little bit of inside knowledge off of a good friend who's done a bit of time on here. And he said this is a pretty good swim, which is the lifeboat swim, which is peg 15. So the spots he used to fish are covered in weeds. It was a little while ago now, so obviously there's been new swims since it was syndicate, and that ultimately will change the lay of the lake where people are fishing, because they're coming in from all angles now. There's more swims. Obviously it's gone to day ticket from a syndicate. I'm not exactly sure how many fish are in here, but I'm pretty sure there's a good number of 30s. I'm pretty sure it's up near the 70, 80, 30 mark, but I'm not sure. With a good handful of 40. So I've got all 3 rods. They are pretty staggered, quite far apart for a change. I'm not fishing tight. Although they're all on the same line, I'm fishing in sort of a hard silt bed. In amongst, it's just a big hole of silt, if you like. Some of it's softer than others. I've found harder patches, so I've spread the rods out from one side to the other. A couple of stiff hinges, one with a pinky, one with a whitey, and one on a trusty old solid bag with a little 10mm pin wanger. One of these will do the business, because there's some absolute crackers in here. I'll show you the lake a little bit. Like I say, I'm somewhere in the middle really. A lot of crisping on top of the water. New swans. It's not a runs water this by any means. I think he had a fish earlier. See him in the water and his waders trying to land it. There's one there. Nice margin, but a lot of weed to contend with. Apparently it's a bit like a bowl, pretty much 14 foot deep all the way. And just see, there is a guy 2 swims up from me. He being 13. And there is a guy, I think he's 3 or 4 swims down. Down there. 1, 2, 3. So 4 swims down. So a guy over there. And then Guy in there. Guy in there. And then finally, I don't know whether you can see because the sun's so bright. There's a guy in there. 8 people on the lake. The bottom end. So hopefully, when I turn this camera back on, we'll have a bit of an old cracking leany lump to show you. It would be nice. Well, it's nearing the end of the session on Christchurch, Lynch Hill. Just done my second night. And that there is just lost my fish. Bit gutted. I had it on for a while, it weeded me right up, and ended up bringing in that ball of weed, which was actually a lot bigger than that, but a lot of it's drifted away now. You can still see remnants of it in the margins. He snagged me up proper, 6 o'clock in the morning it went off. It's 8 o'clock now, my rod's back out, but yeah. Not what we wanted. Got the pickup I was after and lost it. Oh well, that's fishing. I'm back up again, end of August for a week, and that's my last trip up this end of the woods. As my missus is going to drop around October, November time, so fishing's going to be closer to home, so it's going to be a bit boring. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I have got a solid week on here. Up in 31st of August to 7th September. So we'll hopefully come up and avenge the score. Never know, a few hours left. But I haven't seen any fish for a little while now. The fish actually moved in on me last night for the first time since I've been here. Not loads, not in the drones, but a few fish come in smashing, really hammered down all night. Stopped sort of early hours in the morning. Woke up at 5:30, rod hadn't done nothing. Turned over, and next minute I knew it, right hander was ripping. Well, there. Till the next time. Well, back up Lynch Hill. My final week of the year up here. Got up here yesterday, done one night. Blanking. Fiddler's with me. And we've got a week. So I've dropped in the life buoy. Fiddler's in the plate. Six nights to go. Not seen too many fish, there's been the odd one or two when I was spomming yesterday. A few fish topping up that top end, as it were a few weeks ago. Not too busy. One person in the entries. One person swim down below the old bacon. Martin Cox has moved from peg 1 over into peg 6. And a new guy has dropped in behind him into peg 1. And then you got the same old guy that was here last time in the dugout. I'm sure he hasn't moved. Wherever that is, there. Not busy at all. Hopefully a fish or two on the cards. Come on. So Fiddler, what do you make of it all? He don't like being on film, look. Well, still no fish. 2 nights done. No fish for Fiddler either. 1 fish come out last night at the entries. There are so many fish just sat in this weed. Stick with it, it's dead weed, it's all blowed down in the corner. I think they're sort of holding in it because it's dead, it's not sucking oxygen. That looks like a big fish, doesn't it? So I've just come down to see the extent of the weed. And around the corner of that weed bed, stuck a little 1-foot zig on a bit of black foam. They're cruising in and up and they're down that channel every now and again. That's the channel that just goes round the back there in between the weed. And I've sort of placed it in the middle of that, between the rushes and the weed. There's a lot of fish just in this. There's a nice one. Oh, it's back on it. Shoulder. Looks a good fish again, doesn't it? I'll wait for that. Be nice to get one of these mofos on the bank. Break me duck. Yeah. Just cruising around, basking in the sun, with a great big ton of weed around him, nice and safe. Well, let's hope they come out of this area, otherwise it could be a slow week. Well, that's 3 nights done. no get. So it's fish ain't really playing ball. There's nothing coming out at all. Only the guys had one in the entries. Just I think it was a mid-20 mirror yesterday. Still a lot of fish crashing up in that corner. Under all the weed. It's hard to say what to do really. I can't really move. There's 3 more people just turned up on the bank for buckets in the point. Peg 6. It must be the peg 5, I imagine. Which has pretty much closed that top end off now for a move, so that's stumped anything I might have done today. I just don't think the fish are having it. I think the fish come through me last night for the first time, but they didn't come through over the baited line, which is about 60 yards. They're coming through about 20, 25. Chris stuck a rod there last night and nothing happened, but I did hear 1 or 2 smashing down the bottom end. Not many, but enough to say that a few fish had come through us for the first time in 3 days. But the reason they're not is all the crispin has obviously died. We're in beginning of September. We got up here 31st of August, done 3 nights, so we're on the 3rd of September today. I think the reason, well, I'll show you the reason. Where I sat yesterday for the day, I sort of went up. You can't really see, I don't think, but I went up in that swim there, and literally all that's crispin, and it's all dead, and it's just brushed up all into the corner of the lake there, all up in front, and the fish are just sat in it. They won't come out, they're not playing, they're very moody, they're not feeding. So, there's your update. Nothing happening. Still 4 nights to go, anything could happen. Could come down to the last night or the last morning yet. Yeah, let's put a bucket in there. Oh. Well, that's why I'm fishing with a couple of me rods out there. So yeah, I've got 2 rods out around that area. 1 in close. I've now done 6 nights without a pickup. Fish have been quite moody, but last night was probably the best night for fishing. I had a few fish on me last night, but I've managed to avoid capture. However, my old mate Mr. Fiddler next door did manage to bag one, only a small one, 22.5. But we've both done 5 nights of banking before that, so it's been a tough week so far. With 1 night to go, it's looking quite ominous for myself, but it's fishing, isn't it? I can't say I've done much wrong. I've tried everything under the sun. The fish just don't want to have it. Yeah, I've moved swims I've done 4 nights in the life buoy, and then decided to give somewhere else a go for a few nights. So I come up to the end trees, which is a couple of swims up. It's where all the fish had been showing at the beginning of the week. What I did was just out there where you can see that point of weed, right the way across till you get to that point of weed, there was just a wall of weed, and right across there, which was stopping me getting my baits out to the fish. So with the bailiff's help, I managed to do a little bit of de-weeding. As you can see, lake is proper weedy. What that did do was it spread the fish around the lake, because they'd all been sat up underneath this. You can't get at them. It's dead weed, it's sat on the surface. And to be honest, it was becoming a bit of a pain. So I got in the swim, got a load of the weed moved, which took a few hours in the afternoon, I can tell you. That seems to have spread the fish a little bit, which, you know, Chris had a lot of fish on him last night, was smashing out the back. He's fishing a bit further out than me, he's right out in the middle, but fair play to the boy, he's managed to pull one out. At least one of us has had one. Can't catch them all the time. Yeah, still 24 hours, so you never know. I'll show you a little couple stalking spots later, see if you can see them with the camera. I had a fish, which I think was a fish known as the ironing board, come right in within a couple of feet of me yesterday. It looked a good 40. And there was a few other decent fish I saw down there, probably 7 fish in total. And there was probably only 1 or 2 of them that weren't over the 30-pound mark, big fish. And they're just down my right hand side by 20 yards. I can't get to them from this swim. They're actually down around that tree. They're right in tight against the snags, but there's a lovely hole in the bank. I could get a rod right on the spot, but I don't think you're allowed, so I should ask the bailiff, but I don't think you're allowed to do it. If you was, there'd be a good chance of a fish there during the day. Oh well, let's see what happens. 24 hours, and then it's going to be closer to home. I don't know how I'm going to cope for the next 6 months, but going to have to cope somehow. You can't really see in there, but I put a bit of bait in there yesterday. Doesn't look like they've been in there and that, but I seen a very big fish in here yesterday, along with a few others, but there was one that was huge, just the other side of those trees. There's a nice clear spot, and they've been coming right in close. But I also baited another hole, which was a hole in the weed that I could see from the tree. Now, I can't get any of my rigs down here, which is a shame, because, well, I could, but you're not allowed. You got to fish from the swim, and unfortunately the trees and the weed mean I can't get a rod down here, but not for want of trying. I have tried. But, yeah, and underneath these trees I can see fish. Can't really see anything there at the moment. What I'm going to do is get up the tree. The hole that I've baited you can't actually see now, but I'll show you it tomorrow when it's clear, just to show you. It is absolutely chocolate in it, you can't see it at all, but there's some good fish coming in and out of there. I'm going to trickle a bit more bait on it, see if we can get one coming in. The spot. actually. Oh, quite a lot. Right, I'm up the tree. So you can see fish there. Let's see if they come round. Basically the spot of the main is down there, and normally it's crystal clear. I can just start to see the bottom again. There are a few baits on there still, which is disappointing. Right, there's fish coming in. Can you see it? Just come in where I've chucked the baits. That's a big fish. It's got a waddle to it. Oh, there's some more joining him. Another one coming in behind. God, they soon heard that. Those boilies go in, didn't they? Unbelievable. Can't. Coming in really close to the bank. You know, there's fish everywhere in here. And when I say everywhere, you know, 10, 12 fish. That's not a lot of fish, but you can see him there, look. It's a good 30 odd yards away, that fish. Right, let's chuck a few more baits in. Because they're very inquisitive, these fish. Hang on. Obviously, hold on to the tree, I don't want to fall out. Right, ready? And they right on the spot. Let's see what that brings. They're like sharks. They hear the bait. I think they know they're being watched now. There's one, but he's gliding through at a rate of knots. Now I've got a zig, actually. My zig is, you can't really see, but it is out in the middle of somewhere. Right. Okay. We've seen some fish. Possibly come back in a bit and see if they're going down on that bait. I'll chuck a few more in. And that'll be it. Just enough. That's what the patch looks like. But that's what it looks like at the moment. Can't even see it. Right. Let's get down from the tree. Well, I'm still up the tree. The fish has been circling. It's a mirror of about £25 and it's just coming in now. I don't think you can see it. It's right there. So it's a mid-20, that one. Here we go, look. He's going down on the patch. He keeps circling. Is he going to come back round for another pass? Gone in underneath the tree. But he's definitely interested. He's passing over the top. One thing I have noticed down there, he hasn't eaten all the bullies. The ones I can see is my seed mix. But my fish meal is a lot darker, so I don't know whether... I know they've eaten something, because it was stirred right up. It was stirred right up there, so they've eaten something. But whether it's the fish meals and they've left their seed. Anyhow, enough's enough. It's almost dinner time. Last night approaching. Fingers crossed. Oh, here we go now. Oh, just coming right up tight to the margin. Now this is a Mickey. I say a Mickey, it's probably £20. Here we go now. Right in underneath that tree every time. Right. Well, I've come to the end of the session. I managed to save a weak blank. So I had one out last night, 26.2. Not massive for an ear, but it was a stunner. I'm going to struggle to come back up now, so this could be the last session of the year up here, which is pretty gutting, to be honest. Fishing where I'm going to have to be fishing now. I've fished, I might even join a lake that I fished many years ago, just to fill the time until next year. Little nipper on the way, so happy days. But there it is. First few nights on Lynch done, 9 nights. And I can't wait to get back up here, to be honest, because a nice fish came out over there last night. The pretty one they call it, 37.5 mirror, absolute cracker. The guy that was in my swim did manage to have one out last night, or not last night, the night before, a 31 common. So it's not been a lot of fish out, probably 5 fish in the whole week. And Chris has managed one, I've managed one, and there's been 3 30s. So actually there was 6 fish because there was another 20 coming from the swim at the beginning of the week. So all in all, it's been a tough week's fishing. The fish have started looking like they're going to feed more over the last couple of days. I had fish all over me last night, so just want to be just the one. So, yeah, till next year. Happy days.